DC here. Hi guys. Video response to BillyCtv, and probably at the same time I'd say to Adrian and to all the other people who have made responses on about the YouTube community and if it's dying and so on. I commented on a few vids where I was talking about going cyclic, and it's like a lot of things in life. I mean, there's ups and downs. Is the YouTube community still there? Definitely. Definitively. But I think that one has to realize there's times in life where you've got more time, you've got less time. There's times in life where you have more interactions with person A and maybe in a month or a week or whatever, more interactions with person B for various reasons. And any community is like that. If you've been part of a community whatsoever, it could be a church group, it could be a health group, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You know that you have certain periods in your life, maybe at work or whatever, more interactions with one or the other. Which doesn't mean that the community stops to exist. Community, in the way that I see it, is a kind of an extension, type of extension of family, extension of a friendship circle. You have different circles, in your life. And sometimes they come and they touch each other. Sometimes they separate each other. You've all probably done math at one time where you look at intersection points and so on. Community life is a little bit like that, except the thing is that these circles are dynamic and they move around. Now, for example, myself, I'm right now in a period, as I've said, where I'm looking for a position and so on. My time, my energy goes somewhere else. And sometimes I need to have things that'll take my mind off of everyday things. And it could be that takes me away for a moment from the community, and then I come back. And it's the same thing with every one of us. That's the way it is. I really do think it is. And there's another thing about community. If it's a real community, friendships bond people. Now, good friends know that if I might be a little period where I'm not interacting with you as much as I was, doesn't automatically mean that I'm distancing myself from you. I just might have other things going on, and there are only 24 hours in a day. There are some realities in life that we just can't change no matter how much we try. And we do have other things that sometimes have to take priority. So that is a point on community. Now, community, talking about, like Billy mentioned, the YouTube front page. I never watch it. I never go there. I don't. I've got my circle of people, and when the sub lists come, I already have a hard enough time catching up with people that why would I want to go see the so-called superstars? My superstars are you guys. I want to know what's going on with your life. I'm talking now in a way talking to the vloggers. What's going on with your life? What are your thoughts, your takes on such and such topics? Then there's different communities. I think Billy mentioned that as well. Like I feel like sometimes I'm part of several communities. I'm a vlogger, I would say mostly, but I like to do some singing, a bit of karaoke. And as you're seeing on my channel right now, Irene Tweetness and I have made a mini series. We're working. Well, it's done. We're just going to be posting a mini series on, I would say, a live action comic strip. And so that's one part of a community. So people who kind of like to play act, which I know is not like everybody's thing, and that's normal. I think then you can expect that only part of your community might, really get into that. But nevertheless, the thing is that the little group, and it doesn't have to be a big one, but the little group that gets together is part of a community. Adrian mentioned we could be 3 people in a community. I think in a way you're right. I'll give you a very good example, I think, on that respect. Adrian Mike, so Mike's 63. There was Rob, Willie, Jesse, and probably a few others make survivor vlogs. They have a channel. I've subbed to them out of solidarity, but I have to admit I don't really watch the vids. First, I don't watch Survivor. I don't even know if it's on our television chains here in Switzerland. And I must admit, I'm not really interested. But so what I'm saying is that I'm not really part of that community, but these guys are. They're probably 3, 4. I don't know how many, actually. But they have their own sub-community. And once again, what is the community? The community, I think, is, once again, it's a bunch of little circles that join each other, touch each other, and expand, contract. But nevertheless, it's there. One person who is a very, very, I would say, important link pin to the community. It's like the central part in a wheel, and then you have the spokes going out, is BillyCtv. Billy has his watchworthy YouTubers and so on, and he helps us to actually expand horizons. He's like that central link pin to so many of these communities. I mean, I've given him shout outs before where I really think, like Billy is like one of the guys on YouTube. At least he is for me. And like I said, I don't care what's on that front page. Guys like Billy are for me the YouTube superstars who are helping me to make YouTube a real experience. Now, on a more somber note though, is that sometimes I think if we get too much into the community thing and start worrying about what's happening to the community and almost take these relations too seriously, we have to measure my words because I'm almost in a grieving situation right here. A very dear YouTuber friend of mine has just closed her channel a few days ago. And that was because I would say through lack of solidarity, I think, from what I gathered, and probably a perception that, well, maybe we were abandoning her. I'm not quite certain about all the details, and I won't try to make them up here. But that is a danger. Any community, any human group is fallible. And I don't know how we can have, I almost call it self-help groups here. In a large part, we are very often self-help groups, but sometimes maybe we don't always see the cry for helps. Those cries for help. Some of us put them clearly in our vlogs. That's probably one thing that I'm still wondering how to bring into the community. As I said, each and every one of us only has so much time that we can give. That is the most somber side for me. Is that I love this community. I really, really do. The YouTube group, in the larger sense that we are. There's so many good, great people that I've met. And yet, I mean, within a circle of friends, there's only a few that you can really concentrate on. And then sometimes something happens that maybe you've not concentrated enough on one person when they were in need. And that's probably where I'll end up, is that that's where the community kicks in. Is that if there's a community spirit, if one is not able to give that little push, that little necessary push, maybe somebody else can. And like when there's a warning signal, you pass on the chain. Maybe that's something that one should still think about in our community. Yeah. Billy, you got a lot, as usual, loads of questions. Few answers, but probably more questions coming out than answers. Gee, I love you, Billy. You're just a fantastic guy. And Adrian, your vid, the last response vid made me say, hey, kick in the rear, go and make a vlog yourself. And here I am, another 10-minute vlog. DC signing off, guys. Take care. Love y'all.